Can you hear me? One, two, three.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Yes, sir, I can hear you.
Yes. Raj, can you pin me? Or Nishesh? Okay, let's start. I think we have a full team on board, and we are going to present a very exciting session today. So I'll just first give my introduction. I'm Vikram Dave, and currently I'm president for IIK, Indians in Korea, and this is one of the oldest groups in Korea. So today we have come up with a very interesting session that is travel to India and coming back. From last almost 1 year after the COVID started, we have seen a lot of difficulties. So IIK basically started getting playing a very important role in last year's first VBM. We really supported embassies' efforts to get the VBM. We collected a lot of voice from the community members, and then made sure that we have at least first VBM. So that was one of the major roles what IK played. After that, one of the community members also had a chartered, Spice Jet chartered from India to Korea and back. So that time also, after speaking to him, we understand what are the challenges in having that charter done. After that, the charter era started. We had a lot of flights still going on right now. A lot of people are coming and going back to India through chartered flights, mainly run by various Korean companies. Now, recently, we have Air India also playing into it. So there are a lot of difficulties, as in whether to how to go to India and come back. Personally, in my case, also this year, I did not opt to go back to my home country because of a lot of issues in terms of either quarantine periods or uncertainty about the traveling guidelines and changing in rules and all the stuff. Recently, I think over a period of time, the systems have been slowly stabilized. Before that, people were coming through those who cannot afford charters, they wanted to, or those who were not allowed in charters, they were coming through transit route, that is either Malaysia, or Bangkok, or some other transit routes. Recently, people have started coming through Dubai route as well. So we have seen a lot of difficulties and a lot of questions coming up from community members very frequently that how do we go and what are the basic requirements, documents, and what are the forms to be filled in, all the stuffs, be it charter or be it transit route. So various people have started making groups out of it to support the people. Basically, if you see, IIK started the first Telegram group in Korea for Indian community, out of which initially the people started making groups for uh, supporting people for various different charters and flights, out of which now they have changed and make other different names of the groups. So now there are many groups who are trying to support people for charter or be it other way around. But still, there are questions, open questions there. So for this session, we are going to discuss all those details. So whom we have on the session is we have our Vice President Sudhakar Sa. He has been with IK for a long time, and he has been in Korea for a very long time. He recently just, I think he's still in quarantine in Korea. He just came back from India. He went to India on transit route, and he came back through the transit route. And he has his own experiences. He has documented very well the whole process and everything. He will share his own details. We have one more community member, Mr. Nimit Patel, Dr. Nimit Patel. So he's right now in India. He just reached yesterday. In fact, we would have him live on the session from one of those airports, but he just pre-planned his visit 1 day earlier. So he's already reached India, and he will be also sharing his details. And along that, we have Rakesh Kumar, who is who is running his travel agency, and he is based in India. So he has been very, very supportive to our community members in terms of supporting them, giving the right information, be it also supporting those people who cannot do their ticketing on their own, who want some support for transit route. So he has been doing that as well as he's also supporting for getting visas, transit visas. So we have these three panelists from our side, and we'll have some more participants also if someone has questions, or we'll see the online Facebook or YouTube this feed also. If someone has questions, we'll take those questions as well after that. So those who have questions, they can put it online on Facebook, or who have joined the session, they can just put their questions on this chat section, and then we'll take one by one. And once we take the name, please unmute your mic, and then you can ask the question. We'll then request all of them to keep the mic mute, other than the one who's presenting. So with this, I will hand it over to Sudhakar. Sudhakar, the floor is yours.
Hi, Nimit, can you pin my screen, which is shared already?
Raj has to do that, Bhaiya.
Already done.
Yeah.
Can you see my screen?
Yeah, you're pinned. You're pinned now.
Okay, so my presentation is coming, right?
Yep.
Okay, yeah. So thanks, Vikram. You explained the background. We are working on it for last 1 year, and yeah, also just to make it fair, there are many people who worked in last 1 year during COVID emergency situation, and thanks to everyone who worked, whether it is from IIK or from other groups, new groups, or individuals. So everyone contributed last year, and that's the reason. I think many people could travel to India. Many people could come to India, who could come to Korea, which was very difficult at some point of time. So current situation is that travel is very much possible. It may be a little bit difficult in the sense you have to prepare more. So this, since I traveled recently, I had to travel for some family emergency. So I went there. I stayed there for 16 days and then came back. Fortunately, I didn't have any issue during this travel. So I tried to take pictures and document everything which I thought might be helpful to the community. And I had shared it in different Telegram groups, but then we realized that still people had a lot of questions, and as Vikram mentioned, that's the reason today we are doing this session. So what I'll do is I'll just go through steps which are required to travel between India to Korea and Korea to India, and I'll also mention specific points which you have to take care of and do's and don'ts. So let's start. If you have any question, as Vikram mentioned, you can send a message either on Facebook or in this meeting, and we will just unmute you, and then you can ask question. But ideally, it's best if we can do it at the end of the meeting. So yeah, so first of all, some disclaimers. So although we are doing this session for the benefit of community, everyone, but there are a few things which we just want to make clear just for logistic purpose. So first of all, these whatever we share today are suggestions and experiences from community members and individuals like me. But these are not rules, not fixed rules, and it can change. So travelers are suggested to check with authorities and take a decision on their own. So ultimately, it should be your own decision, and then you should be responsible for your own decision. Also, we are not travel agents, so we are not doing this session for any money. This is just for community. But we do have invited one agent who will be able to answer specific queries because he knows it much better than us, because we have just traveled once, but he helped many people to travel. Second last thing is rules are changing almost every day, so please keep yourself updated. Don't just stick to the information which we provide today. Last but not the least, IIK or people who are today at the panel don't take any responsibility for any unanticipated trouble or issues which might happen. So it may not happen, but just in case, please keep all the relevant info so that you don't get into trouble during travel. So with this, let me start with the main topic. So there are very few traveling options available between Korea to India and India to Korea. Although some people are trying to use other routes, but since those routes are not well experimented or people have not many people have not come successfully. So unless you have sufficient number, we would suggest you to stick to these routes. So there are two possible routes. One is direct flights from India to Korea and vice versa. But this is being done by charter flights. And primarily two charter flights are running currently, Asiana and Air India. But what we are going to focus more on today is the other route, which is via Dubai. And via Dubai, first you come from India to Dubai, and then Dubai to Korea, and vice versa. So from between India to Dubai, you have multiple options. So Emirates fly Dubai, Air India. Air India Express had many issues, so many people were not allowed to travel if they had ticket from Air India Express and then Emirates. So please don't try to book Air India Express. But Air India looks fine. Many people have traveled, but the best option is to stick to Fly Dubai, Emirates, or Emirates. The advantage with Emirates and Emirates in both of these legs is you don't have to do any airport transfer. So usually Emirates and Fly Dubai travels in different from different terminals. So you'll have to change. Sometimes it's inconvenient. So far there is no problem as such. And if you're traveling from Fly Dubai and Emirates combination, then you can always book your luggage end to end. And many times you also get the boarding pass at source, and you don't have to do any boarding formalities in the transit location like Dubai. So now, as I mentioned, there are two options: charter flight, which is direct, and the Dubai transit option. Only possible advantage which we can see using charter flight is the journey is less than 8 hours, and you probably don't need to apply for Dubai visa because there is no transit. But there are many serious problems with charter flights. So, and one of the most serious problem is it's extremely uncertain. They confirm these flights only 48 hours in advance. And they have random rules for visas which are allowed to travel on these, especially from India to Korea. Korea to India, there is no restriction. And also it's influenced by a few people. It's expensive. You'll see why when Nimit will explain. And as confirmation comes at very last moment, some people actually got confirmation one night before. I applied for it when I was trying to come from India, and I never got any confirmation whether I got accepted or rejected. So I traveled already by different flight, but there was no courtesy even to inform whether I can travel or not. Many people got rejection just one day before. And one of the inconvenient thing is they don't accept COVID test from any ICMR labs, but they have a very specific. For example, in Delhi, only 3 hospitals they have allocated, or 3 or 4, I don't know, but it's very less compared to ICMR approved test centers, which creates additional trouble if you are coming from a smaller city to Delhi. So you have to come and then get COVID test done, wait for 24 hours to get results, and then travel on these flights. But the problem is sometimes you don't even know whether you are traveling because you don't get tickets. Now coming to Dubai Transit. Dubai Transit, the good thing is fixed schedule because these flights are running. These are regular flights, not charter flights. Cost effective, which you'll see when Nimit explains. And in general, it's cost effective even if you go like one way. Then COVID test is accepted from all ICMR labs in India. And especially if you are traveling from Delhi, you can get it done at Delhi airport, very convenient. And there's no monopoly or influence of people. You book tickets and you just go as you wish. Disadvantages, the first and foremost, definitely because it's a transit route. So the journey is 20 to 30 hours. Sometimes even more if the wait time is more. It needs visa. It needs transit visa for Dubai, which is not inconvenient. Just it adds a little bit cost because you don't have to go and apply. It's just ongoing. And sometimes it's inconvenient due to long transit, but at the same time you can visit Dubai airport, which is nice and beautiful. So it's not that much a problem. So this is important. So we have to see from a price point of view. One is comfort and what documents you need. But second is many people also are worried about cost. So charter flight usually cost between 75 to 82,000 Indian rupees. There may be plus minus 5% up and down. So altogether, if you travel back and forth, then it will be 1.5 to 1.6 lakhs Indian rupees. As opposed to that, Dubai transit, while going from Korea to India, it's cheaper actually. It's about 45,000 Indian rupees. For example, in my case, I also traveled from Delhi to my hometown, so this includes that also. And India to Korea is a little bit expensive. This also includes visa expenses, which so altogether it comes out to be about 85,000. Sometimes it's a little less, sometimes more, depending upon the price variation. So that comes out to be 1.25 maximum, which is still cheaper than charter flight. And then the route which Nimit and also a few more people have experimented, they are yet to come back. But altogether, that costs between 50 to 60,000 rupees. This probably includes the visa fee. Even if you you get it a little bit expensive, then maybe 70,000 rupees, depending upon variation in fare. So you can see that it's massive change in the flight situation now. So if this works out, the green one, which Nimit is trying, so one way he has already traveled without any problem. Once he comes back, then this is going to be a proven route, and then people can actually travel more frequently than they are doing now if they have cost restrictions. Now, Korea to India travel, so we have to just know what steps we have to follow, and then just follow those steps religiously. So you should not miss anything, because every step is important. So first step to travel from Korea to India is to apply for re-entry permit. And then second step is to get COVID test done. Once you have COVID test done, then you get you fill the self-declaration form and then exemption form. And one thing you have to remember, that you have to tag your baggage till India, as well as ask for boarding pass till India. Most of the time they give. If they don't give, you can get it in Dubai. And then in Dubai, if you're traveling between in Emirates and Fly Dubai, then you have to do transfer between T2 and T3. So I think Emirates goes to T3 and Fly Dubai to T2, or vice versa. And last step is in India, you just show your COVID report and self-declaration and go for home quarantine. So these steps are very exhaustive, and then I have actually written one PDF document shared in different Telegram groups. But after today's session, I have created one directory where I'm going to put all these documents. You can have a look at it, but just to give you some idea. So if for applying for re-entry permit, first thing you have to remember is you can only do it online if your journey is after 4 working days. So if it is not done, you have to be on mercy of immigration officer or immigration officer at the airport. So please try to plan early and get re-entry permit. One thing you have to remember is, even if you're not planning to travel, I suggest you to apply for re-entry permit, because you don't need tickets for that. Once you have re-entry permit, so it is valid usually for 3 months to 1 year. You can travel whenever you want. So the steps to apply for re-entry permit is clearly mentioned in this document. So you can look at it. And second part is COVID test. So for COVID test, you have to remember a few things. So few information are needed in COVID test. So in Korea, COVID test reports, or even in India actually, COVID test reports are not standard. So these information are actually fed by doctor manually. So when I went there, he asked me what all I need. So he just entered. So for example, passport number, your name, age, date of birth, but he forgot to mention the time of sample taken. But fortunately, I had also taken the lab report. So lab report had the time of sample taken, so I had no issues. Otherwise, there would have been some issue. Now, Air Suvidha, I have already mentioned this website. So you can go there, put all your information, and then it'll generate one registration number. After you get your COVID test report from Korea, you upload it, and then you get one exemption number. So exemption number, so exemption, many people don't get like approved. So some people got it rejected. Some people don't get anything. You have to remember that this exemption decision also is taken at the airport many times. So you have to just keep everything mentioned in here, like tickets, passport, ARC, range permit, and COVID test report. Go there and show at in Indian airport when you land, and then you should be fine, unless some state has very specific rules. Now, one thing which is important is when you travel to Dubai and you have Emirates and Fly Dubai tickets, then you have to basically change your terminal, and that's something which I have tried to take picture of this. So let me just explain orally so that if you have any confusion. So this is where Emirates went when I went there, and usually it goes here. So when you come out of Emirates when you're traveling from Korea to India, then you'll see this. So there'll be a connection here, but you have to leave this. So first connection you have to leave. Then you'll find second connection option. You have to leave that second connection gate. Then you'll find Marhaba help desk after you travel, after you go for like 500 meters. Then you see another connection. This is the connection gate which you have to go. So you have to remember this one. So ADF, it's almost at the end of the airport. So you have to go here and then cross, go down one level. After you go down one level, you have to do security check, and then you come to this gate where you can see the bus. There'll be Fly Dubai staff here, if you can see this gate. And after this, you can just go to Terminal 2, where Fly Dubai goes. So this is entry of Fly Dubai terminal. Then the second picture is when after you enter, you have to go through security check, and then just immediately after security check, you have boarding gates. So all the boarding gates are there. So this is about Korea to India travel. So that document mentions everything in detail. Now, booking tickets there are two options. One is you can directly book from Emirates website, and you can also use other third-party websites. Or you can, I suggest you to go through Emirates because they have options to reschedule your tickets, or sometimes if your COVID test unfortunately comes positive, then they also allow you to reschedule without any additional charges. But please make sure that you are booking, rebooking, or cancelable tickets. And second option is travel agent. So I actually used travel agent, and advantage is they can actually provide you multiple options. They can change your tickets in real time if needed. So they'll have plan B, plan C available if needed. So this is our suggestion only because this travel agent who is also present today, his name is Rakesh. So he has actually helped many people, and I personally wanted to also evaluate his services. And when I went to India, I personally used his services, and I found him really professional. So again, this is just our suggestion. So we are not endorsing him or his travel agency, but he has helped many Indians. So if you want to try, then you can try. He is reliable. As I said, refer to the PDF that I created for rest of the process for Korea to India. Then there are a few other useful links which I wanted to share. So list of COVID centers in Korea. For example, many people actually asked quite a few times, where should I get my test done in Korea? So I have shared this website. So if you just try to search here, for example, many people were asking how to get test done in Chuncheon. So if you just try to search Chuncheon, then it'll give options for Chuncheon, and And second thing is, you have to also look at whether it is English, they give English report or not. So the best option is to go to neighbor, and I have mentioned research. So the first one is Corona Kamsa, so which is Corona test, but you have to try second one, Corona Kamsa Yongmun Chindanso, which is like English certificate availability. So if you put that, and then your location. So first one is location. Please put location in Korean. If you don't know Korean, you can just use translator and put it here. So you'll be able to see some of those. So I shared someone shared it in the blog today. I found it, and actually this guy or girl maybe shared that cost of the test was 92,860 Korean won, and cost of English certificate was additionally 10,000 won, which means 102,000 won approximately. This was actually a surprise because many people are paying, including me. I paid more than 150, 160. So this is actually Seoul Children Hospital. So I'll also try to call and find out if this is really true. But this looks to be true. So if you're in Seoul, then you can opt for this option also. Then just a minute. Yeah, then the second option is between India to Korea. So now India to Korea becomes a little bit different because many people have traveled between India to Korea. So if you look at the first step is same, you book tickets. And the second step is to apply for Dubai transit visa. Now this is a little bit we can make arguments because few people have traveled without Dubai transit visa, but then few people got stuck because they didn't have visa. So always when you have this situation, when some people didn't have document and they traveled, and then some people had document and it was not checked, always go for the safer option. Don't try your luck. Don't take chances. So this is additional step. It doesn't cost much. So actually, I have also put this online link where you can see that this is 30 days visa for 30 days, and there is a 48 hours visa and 96 hours visa. So usually people choose this because your flight transit is less than like 24 hours. 48 is enough. So you can go for this. If you still have doubt, then you can go for 96 hours visa. So this step is additional step when you're coming back from India to Korea. And then, COVID test you have to get done. Then you can travel and follow all the steps at the airport in Korea, which is very, very self-explanatory. I tried to make a document, but that's too much. And then I think in Korea, they had more than 10 different counters where you have to go. And then I also got lost why there are so many counters. So just follow what they say. You don't have to do anything on your own. They'll just tell you. You just have to do it. So again, for booking tickets, same way. You can either go for Emirates booking, or you can go use travel agent. Now for Dubai visa, the required documents are passport scan copy, not picture. So my travel agent said that if you take picture, then sometimes barcode there is a shiny thing and it cannot be read. So that's why you have to have a proper scanned copy, ARC tickets, photo, and PAN card, or basically Indian, probably Indian ID card. Okay, regarding COVID test in India, again, I have provided this testing facility link. So if you just search for your city, it will give all the ICMR approved testing center. You can just click and then you can get more information. And I also downloaded this as Excel sheet. So I'll share the whole directory so that you can have a look at it. And yeah, so I came from Delhi, and if you're traveling from Delhi or you're transiting through Delhi, I suggest you to use the COVID testing facility at Delhi airport. So this is at the departure terminal in front of gate number 8. So the good thing is there is not much queue, so it will take about 10 to 15 minutes even if you don't have any appointment. Just go there and get your sample, give your sample, It takes, they say, 4 to 6 hours, and it's 24 hours. Sorry, it's 24 hours open, and in front of departure gate number 8, you can do. And the format is very nice. I'll share the format. So if you look at this format, it has everything which different countries have asked, like your name, date of birth, and age, not just date of birth. Then your national identity number, which is passport number in my case, and sample date. That's it. So the good thing here is, if you look at this, there is no stamp because this is a digital certificate and it is valid without any stamp. And you get this. I got it in 2.5 hours. If you look at this, 11:38 I gave sample, and then 2:29 I got my report. So they take 4 to 6 hours maximum, which is good thing if you're transiting through Delhi, or if you're coming to Delhi, then it's pretty good. Now, the conclusion, after I travel from both sides, and also we are looking at people who are having different experience. Some people could travel, some people stopped, some people had were angry and disgusted. Many people actually had even if they didn't have all the documents, they reached Korea. So situation is very very fluid, and it keeps on changing. So one thing you have to do is, first of all, you be confident when you start your travel, and keep exhaustive documents. So even if you feel that some documents are not needed, just keep it. For example, when I was at Mumbai airport, they were not allowing me to go to my home state because my passport is from Pune. So I actually showed them many things. For example, I showed them my police clearance certificate, which I use for permanent residency in Korea. Which is not a document which I should carry, but I had the scan copy. I showed that, okay, I stay in my hometown only. So they allowed me. So keep all the documents at least online. Keep your mobile in roaming. I have mentioned in my document how to keep your mobile in roaming. You don't have to pay much. And be prepared with a plan B, just in case something is not working out. And be ready to tackle unpredictable situation. And don't panic, but there may be a situation when whatever I said or we are saying today may not be useful, and then you have to make your own strategy. So always be strong in these situations. If you're using any any agent, and contact him, they will be always happy to help. Or contact people who are in Korea and in India who are always trying to help with information. And last but not least, when you're talking to officers there, anywhere, India, Dubai, or Korea, be very, very polite, because they are the people who are making rules. They also make rules which is not existing at the time when you talk to them. So always request them and never try to demand. Try to keep your don't be angry, and be polite. That works many times. So that is all I have to share, and we will be open to ask for a question answer session if there is any need. And I'll give it to Nimit for to explain the option which most of you are attending, for the cheaper option to travel, which is more exciting. So thank you, Nimit.
Yeah. And thank you, Sudhakar, Mr. Sudhakar Bhaiya. I will share my screen. Can I? Okay. Okay. Can you see it? So actually, I planned my trip just last month on 31st January. And hello, yeah. So I planned my trip on 31st January, and I was a little bit confused, like which route to go. And I saw so many suggestions from the many Telegram groups like charter options and like Dubai transit visa and Emirates, and I got so many information from the other groups. But one of when I checked the tickets online about this from Korea to India, like from Emirates and Fly Dubai, the return ticket was costing around someone like 1.8 million won. So I also checked that individual return tickets, like from Seoul to Dubai, and from Dubai to my state is Gujarat, that is Ahmedabad. So I booked these two tickets. You can see I have a return ticket of from Seoul to Dubai and Dubai to Seoul, and yes, the second one from Dubai to Gujarat and return from Gujarat to Dubai. So uh,
Just show the cost also. Where is the cost with the ticket?
cost I think it is mentioned. The fly Dubai ticket cost was around,
It should be there.
yeah, ED 1000. Actually, I rescheduled this one. Still, it was cheaper, like $250. The return ticket from Dubai to India, and my Seoul to Dubai ticket was around 32,000 INR. So I was not sure that is this kind of this option is also possible or not. So I talked with many people. I also talked with Mr. Rakesh, which is present here right now. So I also talked with him. I talked with Vikram Bhaiya, and also talked with other group members. So still, I was not sure that I can make this plan successful or not. So I was I was not sure that I will be asked for visa at the Incheon terminal. Like I have a separate ticket, so the immigration officer may ask for visa for to me. But this was some kind of confusion in my mind. So should I get the visa or not? So actually, I booked the tickets and started my journey yesterday. And yeah, when I went to the Incheon airport and showed them my both the fly Dubai and the Emirates ticket. So they tagged my luggage till the last point in India. So I asked them that can you please provide me the both the boarding pass. So the lady which was there, she told me that sir, you will get your second boarding pass at the Dubai airport at the second terminal. So, and at that time, I was also following Mr. Sudhakar Shah's tutorial, was his travel experience. So I used that to most of use that his experience in my travel, and so
So that is over here. One question was always there, that we always had a confusion when we were discussing during your this route of to and fro Dubai and Seoul and Dubai and India. So we were thinking that how luggage would be transferred, because many times from India when they're coming, they were using Maratha services. So that is one thing which we were confused. But later on, as we came to know that even through Rakesh and some other people, that luggage will be transferred automatically because they share the PNR. Emirates and Fly Dubai share the PNR, so you don't need to worry. The luggage will be tagged till it. So in case if you book a different flight where the PNR is not shared, probably you may have to use Maraba service. Sudhakar, just correct me if I'm wrong, or Rakesh, you can just correct me if that is the case.
गुड इवनिंग टू ऑल मेंबर्स। मैं ये
हाँ,
कहना
राकेश।
चाहता हूँ कि अगर आप
बोलिए।
अपना हम इंडिया में करा रहे हैं तो एयर इंडिया के साथ एमिरेट्स भी पीएनआर शेयर करते हैं। एमिरेट्स एयर इंडिया फ्लाइट हुई, हम इन तीनों एयरलाइन के साथ जा सकते हैं। इन और इंडिगो उसमें सर मराठा की सर्विस लेनी है।
ओके, सो स्पाइसजेट को और बाकी सब डोमेस्टिक एयरलाइंस में यूज मरहबा। Otherwise, Fly Dubai, Air India, you can have direct luggage transfer. वो direct हो जाएगा।
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल।
Okay, understood. So that was one of the major confusion. And one good thing what Nimit just now told was that he changed his plan because of some very less transit time. So he changed that just 1 day before or 2 days before the travel, and the cost was very minimal.
Yeah.
So even in case of any personal changes or because of transit time changes, you can reschedule your flight at very minimum rescheduling charges. That's two major points which I wanted to highlight. Continue, Nimit.
Yeah. So the reason of selecting these two flight like Emirates and Fly Dubai was that they share the PNR and my luggage will be automatically tagged to the last point. So I asked when I went to the insurance, I asked them that will my luggage will be tagged. So the lady told me that yes, your luggage will be tagged to the last point, but you will get your second boarding pass only at T2 terminal in the Dubai. So I was like, okay. Then I contacted few members which are present here, and I asked them that what should I do in this situation. So they suggested me that okay, you can take a transit to the T2 terminal and just find the Fly Dubai counter, and you can get your boarding pass at that point.
One more point over here I want to ask is because let's make this little interactive. Rakesh or Nimit can help me, or even Sudhakar. About the luggage capacity, how much is the luggage allowed? If you're having Emirates, maybe you don't need to worry. If you're sharing between Emirates and Fly Dubai or Emirates and India, is the luggage capacity 32 kilos or whatever it is? Is it same or you have to have some problem?
अगर सर हम सियोल से दुबई और दुबई से एनी अदर पार्ट ऑफ इंडिया में आ रहे हैं तो सियोल से जो दुबई वाली फ्लाइट है, एमिरेट्स में भी सब तीन ऑप्शन रहती हैं, एक स्पेशल सेवर, एक सेवर और एक फ्लेक्सी। मोस्टली पीपल स्पेशल सेवर के साथ जाते हैं, उसमें 25+7 लो रहता है, और जो भी फ्लाइट मतलब दुबई से इंडिया में आ रही है उसमें 30+7 लो है।
Okay, so you can do some shopping in Dubai too, hopefully.
Yes, you are.
Okay, understood.
No, in
So
that case,
by
you can always
Yeah.
do shopping in Dubai because that's transit. So from duty free, whatever you buy, that's okay.
Okay, so there's no luggage also, it's not out
No.
of question. Okay, understood.
So whatever you buy in duty free, they don't actually care.
Yes. Until you're just transiting, you're going out of Dubai. If you're going out of Dubai and then coming back in, then your luggage will be again as per the
Yes.
limitations. Understood. Okay. Continue, Nimit.
Yeah. So I got the first boarding pass till Dubai, and I boarded the plane. And after when I landed in Dubai, I started following the route which Mr. Sudhakar Shah showed that how to get transit to the second terminal. And at that point, I was a little bit confused that will I be get like some. Somebody told me that you should show the boarding pass to get on board to the connecting bus which travels between the terminals. So I asked many people, and they told me that no, you can just show them your tickets, and they will allow you to board and you can change the terminal. So I did the same, and I showed them the tickets, and I went to the second terminal, and just before the gates, I found the counter, Fly Dubai counter, and I collected my boarding pass by showing my documents again. Like I showed them my tickets, my COVID report, my self-reporting form. They checked my all documents and issued me a boarding pass, and then I continued my second onward journey.
One more point over here, probably for Sudhakar and Nimit, both of you. What I understand is probably it's a good point to share with the community members is Emirates from Seoul to Dubai, they have all the middle seats empty. Am I right?
Yes.
I,
So,
I don't know. As I told earlier also, I don't know if that is a rule. It's also possible that they don't have enough passengers, so they are actually giving you tickets, seats like that. But doesn't seem to
Rakesh,
be a rule.
any idea? What is your?
Sir, they follow the social distance. That's the main
So
reason.
this is a part of social distancing. So it's
Yes.
much safer in terms of Emirates where they follow the social distancing.
If
I'm
you
not
check
sure
out,
about.
अगर आप ऑनलाइन चेक भी करोगे ना, अगर आप सीट की सिलेक्शन भी कर रहे हो तो उसमें भी मिडिल रो हमेशा एम्प्टी रहेगी, उसमें अवेलेबिलिटी होगी.
Okay.
Okay, so
Okay.
another point here is which was peculiar. So when you go from Seoul to Dubai, or when you're traveling from Dubai to Seoul, they don't give you face mask, and the face mask is not mandatory. But if you
Okay.
but if you travel from Dubai to India and India to Dubai, then face mask is mandatory, or at least they provide you face mask. But Emirates from Dubai to Seoul and vice versa, they don't give face mask, and nobody actually wears face mask, probably because of this distancing thing.
So I think in charter there is no social distancing as such because it does not make sense. It's actually absolutely economical for a charter to have a social distancing. From that perspective, I wanted to ask one more thing about the food. We have not mentioned about this food because the transit time is high. I assume that in Emirates there will be some food provided, but once you land into Dubai, how is the situation? What is your observation at Dubai airport about the
Very
food
good,
and rest?
very good actually. So actually, while coming back, while going, I didn't have any time, so I was rushing to catch my next flight. But when I was coming back, I had 9 hours, and I literally visited every corner of the airport because I didn't sleep. So there are many shops. One thing which I observed is you can find biryani everywhere, and I also saw like pav bhaji. Everything was a lot of Indian food was available, but biryani was very peculiar. It's every other shop which had food item had biryani, but there are multiple options available for people to have Indian food. Just to give you cost approximation, the chicken biryani was about 12 USDs, and pav bhaji was about 10 USDs.
Right. There is one question from Jitendra Sheikh. If I buy my tickets Incheon, Dubai, Incheon and Dubai, Delhi, I think Dubai separately. Now, in this case, PNR will be different. So, still, I have my luggage still in Delhi, correct?
Yes.
Tagged in Delhi, probably.
Yes. It's
Yeah,
possible.
so even if it is separately booked, the luggage will be tagged till end destination,
Yes, because they share, they have code sharing.
right?
Yes.
Raj has a question.
Raj?
Yeah, Raj, go ahead.
Yeah, my questions. I have 4 questions. So first of all, I want to know from Nimit ki total how much did he pay in INR from Incheon to Delhi and Delhi to Incheon total. And second, yeah, second,
Okay.
I have 4 questions, so I'll just I'll just
Yeah.
ask everything. And second thing, as you have traveled to, as you just have traveled to India, and this question to Mr. Rakesh as well. So, what should be the best layover time? Like Nimit said, he had only 3 hours, so he must be in very, he must be anxious. If one flight gets late, so he'll eventually gonna miss his second flight. So what must be the what should be the, I mean, ideal layover time? And okay, let's just you guys please answer these questions, then I'll ask again those other two questions.
सर ले ओवर कैसे रहता है, मतलब अलग अलग पार्ट में अलग अलग टाइम के साथ है। अगर हम लखनऊ या अहमदाबाद की तरफ जाते हैं तो 3 घंटे का ले ओवर रहता है, और अगर हम दिल्ली की साइड में आ जाते हैं एमिरेट्स प्लस फ्लाइट दुबई में, तो उसमें सर मान के चलते हैं हम 17 घंटे का होल्ड रहता है। अगर एमिरेट्स प्लस एयर इंडिया में जाते हैं तो 7 घंटे का होल्ड रहता है।
बट अगर राकेश राकेश सर, अगर मेरी दिल्ली कोरिया इंचन से दुबई की फ्लाइट अगर डिले होती है एयरलाइन की तरफ से, तो मुझे फिर व्हाट कैन आई डू?
सर उन दैट केस में सर हम इसीलिए स्टैंड बाय पे रहते हैं, मतलब फ्लाइट को ट्रैक करते रहते हैं आपकी वहां से फ्लाइट कब निकली है। इन दैट केस आपने जहां से बुकिंग बनाई है आपको सियोल से मालूम तो पड़ ही जाएगा कि फ्लाइट 3 घंटे लेट है, तो आप नेक्स्ट फ्लाइट को रिस्केड्यूल कर सकते हो।
नेक्स्ट फ्लाइट रिशेड्यूल कर सकते हैं। ओके ओके
Okay, I think there was a sound was cut in between. As Rakesh he told, I'll just iterate that if you're probably from his point of view is if you're booking the flight with him, what will happen is they will keep on tracking if your flight gets delayed. Then they can adjust the next flight in real time. That they can change the next flight or they can give parallel options. So Rakesh, one question I wanted to ask is अगर हम चलो दिल्ली नहीं जा रहे, हम अहमदाबाद लखनऊ और किधर जा रहे हैं, और and we have a very less time, so that is we can also have
This echo.
Okay, I think someone's speaker is on. Okay. Yeah, so what I was asking is if people are going to Ahmedabad or some other part of country where the frequency is less, तो वो लोग दुबई से दिल्ली जाके मतलब उसमें कोई anything to be taken care, Rakesh?
सर मैंने प्रॉपर कैच किया नहीं, कैन यू रिपीट प्लीज?
राकेश, व्हाट आई एम आस्किंग इज दुबई से अगर कोई लोग डिफरेंट पार्ट्स ऑफ इंडिया में जाना है, साउथ इंडिया में जाना है, किधर भी जाना है, सो और उसका फ्रीक्वेंसी नहीं है या फ्रीक्वेंसी का टाइम का ओवरलैप का प्रॉब्लम हो जाता है, they can go to Dubai to Delhi and then to other parts. In that case, is it possible or is it anything we need to take care?
सर देखो, अगर टिकट बुकिंग हुई होती है तो अगर लेस देन 6 आवर टू डिपार्चर में कंडीशंस में क्या होता है, टिकट नॉन रिफंडेबल हो जाती है टोटली। ठीक है, मतलब पैसेंजर को पहले ही मालूम होना चाहिए कि अगर उसकी सियोल से दुबई वाली फ्लाइट लेट जा रही है, तो मैं तो उसका यही सजेशन करता हूँ वो टिकट को रीस्केड्यूल करवा ले, जो फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट ही रहती है, ऑलमोस्ट थोड़ा बहुत फेयर डिफरेंस रहता है। अगर हम उस टिकट को कैंसिल करते हैं उसकी मेन डेस्टिनेशन में, तो सर फ्लाइट वही क्या है कि नॉन बेनिफिट क्या है, वो कस्टमर को लीकर में रिफंड नहीं देता, वो वाउचर जनरेट करता है जो सेम पर्सन के नेम पे यूज हो। तो रीस्केड्यूल इज द बेस्ट ऑप्शन।
ओके, रीस्केड्यूल ही करना है सर। Okay, there are some questions from Monu also that can we go out in Dubai and plan our travel after 2-3 days? Rakesh?
सर अगर दुबई में उतरते हैं तो हमको कोविड टेस्ट करवाना होगा, अगर इन दैट केस रिपोर्ट पॉजिटिव आती है तो क्वारंटाइन कंडीशन अप्लाई हो जाती है, अदरवाइज हम घूम सकते हैं, कोई प्रॉब्लम।
Okay. Hardeep Singh has one question. Sir, as I'm going to travel first time in plane, I do not know how to manage luggage at the airport, and if transit time at the Dubai airport is about 10 to 15 hours, then they will provide facility to get some rest. मतलब दुबई एयरपोर्ट पे कोई लॉन्च या कुछ है, या फिर एयरपोर्ट पे बहुत सी जगह होंगी जहाँ रेस्ट कर सकते हैं, राइट?
काफी लॉन्चेस हैं,
many places actually. You can sleep there. Those long seats are there, so you can sleep there. It should not be a problem.
Okay, makes sense. How much did you pay, Nimit? As per Nimit, he has paid 55,000 in total. That is from Korea to India and India to Korea, all put together, including a rescheduling charge also. One time he did, it is 55,000 rupees. So that is initially it was, I remember it was 48,000, but I think he changed for one day earlier, so it went to 5,000 extra, looks like. There is one question from Tabrez Alam. I have booked tickets from Emirates and Fly Dubai website, 13 hours transit time. Can Mr. Rakesh still contact and help if required? राकेश जी, आप हेल्प करोगे कि नहीं करोगे?
So definitely, इसमें क्या पूछने का?
Yes. Tabraji, Rakesh,
No,
you
no,
will
no.
help me, no
Just a
problem.
minute. Just a minute. Just a minute, Vikram. So I think he also mentioned. He also asked in cancellation, etc. I think that is that should be clear because Rakesh can help in providing information, but cancellation, etc. Since I think Mr. Tabrez has done, so that maybe Rakesh can do. Rakesh, you may want to explain that.
No, I mean, suppose if my flight is cancelled, which I have booked, and I have to book new flight, and in these kind of situations, yeah. So that's what I mean.
आपकी फ्लाइट कैंसिलेशन क्या सर? देखो दोनों फ्लाइट पे डिपेंड रहता है कौन सी कैंसिल होती है. अगर एयरलाइन की तरफ से कैंसिल होती है देन तो सर फुल रिफंड रहेगा.
ओके.
Okay,
एक्चुअली मेरा मीनिंग है अगर मेरी फ्लाइट कैंसिल हो गई, कुछ प्रॉब्लम हो गया, तो फिर भी आपको कांटेक्ट कर सकते हैं न्यू फ्लाइट बुकिंग के लिए. और
Yes. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
One more question from Jitendra Singh Shekhawat. I think he's just confirming once again. Sudhakar, you can help probably. I asked same question to Mr. Rakesh. I want to travel to Jaipur by car after reaching Delhi through Seoul. Seoul, Dubai, Delhi. Is it possible, or I will have any problem? Did anyone travel to other parts of India from Delhi?
Delhi, there is no problem. Delhi, like only problem happens in Mumbai and a few of the South Indian states, but Delhi, there is no problem. You can travel.
Okay, makes sense.
Last question.
Rakesh?
Yes.
करने के लिए बोलते हैं.
हाँ.
सजेशन तो आपको जाने देते.
Rakesh, just repeat once again.
दिल्ली में जब हम अराइव होते हैं ना, तो कई बार वो आपको कोविड टेस्ट के लिए बोल देते हैं कि आप कोविड टेस्ट करवाओ, देन हम आपको जाने देंगे. तो मैं तो यही सजेशन करता हूँ, एक बार उनको बोल दो कि मेरी रिपोर्ट 72 आवर वैलिड है, मैं अपनी सिटी में जाके करवा लूंगा. अगर वो एग्री होते हैं देन वो जाने देंगे. अगर वो एग्री नहीं होते तो मैं तो यही सजेशन करूंगा उनसे सबको उनके साथ कोऑपरेट करो, देन वो जाने देंगे.
Okay. Sanjay ji, you have a question.
जी, सुधाकर जी, मेरा लास्ट क्वेश्चन है. If someone going to Delhi and from Delhi he have a domestic flight next day, तो क्या उसको रोकते हैं क्या वहाँ पे दिल्ली में?
That's what Rakesh also mentioned. It depends upon the officer. Delhi is very relaxed as of now. So वहाँ पे if you can request them. एक option है कि you can get COVID test then in Delhi airport. 5 minutes लगता है उसमें, 800 rupees. So in worst case you can just get a COVID test done and they will allow you to travel next day. But in general also they will allow to travel. At this point of time I'll just mention the difference between different ports. So Delhi is very liberal as of now. So if you have further journey even by car, it is allowed. But I went to Mumbai and Mumbai still has restrictions. So if you are traveling to anywhere inside Maharashtra, so unless you are traveling by flight, you are not allowed to go out. You have to go for institutional quarantine. There is no exemption. So the exemption is only for people who are above 60 years old, then kids who are accompanied by one person, less than 10 years old kid, or you have family emergency, for example, death in family. Only in these 3 conditions they allow you. Otherwise 7 days you have to be in institutional quarantine, and the next 7 days you have to be in home quarantine.
Okay, one more point. I think it's only 7 day. 7 day institutional quarantine.
Echo.
Yeah, 7 and 7.
Okay. Yeah.
One last one.
Yes.
Okay. So how about Korean passport? If someone is Korean and he traveling from Delhi to Korea, so he need Dubai transit visa or just no need?
You are Korean.
That's
Our passport have visa everywhere.
Because I'm thinking to travel India.
On serious note, no. I am as far as I know, in Korean passport, I don't know UAE is exempted for travel or not. If UAE is exempted for travel, then I think you can travel freely. For example, Europe, you can go for 2 months or something. So if that is the case with UAE, then you can just transit without any visa. For us, we need, because we need passport.
Okay, one more point is people who are booking tickets, like I think Nimit booked the tickets using the website, Emirates website and Fly Dubai website. So if you're going through other third-party websites like trip.com or any of those things, then it's going to be more complicated. Prefer not to use those things. Can just add some more comments on this. Rakesh?
मैं यही सजेशन करता हूँ कि हमेशा बुकिंग या तो एयरलाइन की वेबसाइट से बनाओ या मतलब अपनी किसी भी जानकार एजेंट से बनाओ, क्योंकि अगर आप अपना स्काई स्कैनर से या किसी भी अदर पार्ट से बुकिंग करते हो तो सब हमें मालूम नहीं होता वो बुकिंग यूके के पोर्ट से होगी या सिंगापुर के मतलब पोर्टल से होगी, कहाँ से होगी है। इन दैट केस अगर हमें कुछ प्रॉब्लम आती है तो हम जहाँ पे कॉल करते हैं तो पहली बात तो वहाँ पे कॉल होती नहीं, सिंपल सी बात है। अगर आप मेरे एंड से या किसी भी थर्ड एजेंट से या करवा सकते हो, आप खाली उन पर एक सिंगल फोन करोगे तो सारी टेंशन उनकी रह जाती है, कुछ भी हो जाए, रीस्केड्यूल हो गया या कैंसिलेशन हो गया। अगर एयरलाइन से एयरलाइन का तो आप ऑनलाइन ही मैनेज कर सकते हो।
राइट। राज, यू हैव वन क्वेश्चन।
या पहले तो मैं राकेश को मतलब क्रेडिट देना चाहता हूँ, उसने बहुत काम किया है थ्रू आउट कोविड टाइम्स। और अभी निमित आया था तो वो स्टैंड बाय पे था। एंड माय क्वेश्चन ये है कि सॉरी मैं हिंदी इंग्लिश में कंफ्यूज हो गया। माय क्वेश्चन इज कि चार्टर एंड दिस निमित्स प्लान जो भी निमित ने बताया है, तो चार्टर को हम कैसे हम क्यों या तो चार्टर में क्यों जाएं या फिर निमित का इसमें डिस्टिंग्विश कैसे कर सकते हैं? आई मीन प्रोज एंड कॉन्स, निमित का प्लान जो है एंड चार्टर।
निमित का प्लान भी सर सेफ है, जिसमें वो आया है दोनों मतलब रिटर्न टिकट। चार्टर सर एक्सपेंसिव होगा टू बी ऑनेस्ट। एक तो उसमें सर जो वीजा कैटेगरीज है वो बहुत कम है। अगर हम मतलब कोरियन एंड पे यूसेज करें तो E7 E3 एक्सेट्रा कैटेगरी D2 यही कैटेगरी ज्यादा ट्रैवल कर रही है इन दिनों। E7 नहीं है, सॉरी। इसमें सर एक चार्टर में लिमिटेड सीट्स रहती हैं, एक टिकट 2 दिन पहले हमें आती है, ठीक है। इन दैट केस हमारी परसों की फ्लाइट है, आज शाम को मेरी टिकट आएगी तो हम तब कोविड टेस्ट कराएंगे। वो फ्लाइट दिल्ली से होगी, हम बॉम्बे से दिल्ली कब जाएंगे, तो इसमें थोड़ा वो चार्टर फ्लाइट का ये रिस्क रह जाता है।
मेरी तो कभी नहीं आई।
मैंने भी आई था।
बट निमित का जो प्लान था, उस जो भी प्लान है, जो भी निमित ने बताया आइडिया, उसके भी कुछ ना कुछ कॉन्स हो सकते हैं। लाइक जैसे ले ओवर का टाइम था 3 आवर्स विच इज़ वेरी वेरी लो इन माई व्यूज़, ठीक है। एंड रिशेड्यूलिंग होगी तो जैसे आपने एक बार मुझे बताया था राकेश की शायद चारों ही सारी टिकट्स कमानी, एक टिकट के लिए वजह से सारी टिकट्स रीशेड्यूल्स होंगी, तो इसको भी इसको भी क्लियर कर दो।
सर देखो, अगर एमिरेट्स है, एमिरेट्स का ऑलमोस्ट सर फेयर सेम ही रहता है, तो एमिरेट्स का फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट के साथ ही तरह का रीस्केड्यूल हो जाता है। रही बात फ्लाइट वाई में, सर उसमें फेयर डिफरेंस आ जाता है, और लिमिट के साथ भी मेरे ख्याल से फ्लाइट वाई में ही फेयर डिफरेंस आया होगा।
फ्लाइट रेट में डिफरेंस आया था, आई थिंक।
मेरे को एक मैसेज आया है जय प्रकाश निरासा का। he's asking कि Delhi to Seoul both Emirates flights via Dubai 3 hour layover time is enough, do we need transit visa too?
सर वीजा हमेशा मतलब ना, अगर हम दुबई एंड पे जाएं तो वीजा दुबई गवर्नमेंट कभी भी रेकमेंड नहीं करता है। खाली इंडिया इमिग्रेशन कई बार मांग लेता है, कई बार जब हम चेक इन करते हैं तो चेक इन वाला स्टाफ मांग लेता है।
If you have separate tickets, then they will ask, I think so. If the,
what Rakesh is saying that visa for Dubai is mainly required.
तो मेरे पास एक कस्टमर के पास कलकत्ता दुबई, दुबई से सिंगल पीआर टिकट थी। इवन इमिग्रेशन ने उनसे रिटर्न टिकट भी मांग ली दुबई से कलकत्ता की, तो मैंने मॉर्निंग में स्पेशल उनको टिकट बना के दी देहरादून जाने की। इवन ट्रांजिट वीजा भी था उनके पास।
I will share my experience with this visa thing. Many people shared that visa is not needed, and Rakesh actually told me that please take visa just to be on safe side, and it was not expensive anyway, so I just went for this. So the thing is, at least at Delhi port, only place where I visa was asked in this whole travel was by airlines. not at immigration in Delhi, not at Dubai. Definitely, visa is not needed in Dubai from from UAE side. The visa is needed by either immigration officer or airlines for some random reason. So,
So
because
that
it is random, it is required.
the reason for this is one of the major reason for this is if you're stuck up in Dubai or if they're deported from Dubai, it is airlines' responsibility to take you back. So the airlines always take a precaution that you have a visa, so they don't have the responsibility of taking you back because they have to spare one seat again. That is the
Yeah.
reason you guys will ask for that things.
Yeah, there is another reason,
that
another financial reason for this. I talked to someone at Delhi airport. I was told that for one deport case, airline has to pay 1 lakh rupees
yes, as the fine.
to as fine. So that's why they are very very careful.
Makes a lot of sense.
एक क्वेश्चन है बहुत लोग राकेश भाई बहुत लोग देयर आर मेनी पीपल हु आर लुकिंग फॉर बैंकॉक रूट तो इज इट फिजिबल ये पॉसिबल है बैंकॉक रूट या फिर लोग दुबई रूट को ही फॉलो करें या कोई और बैंकॉक एंड अदर रूट एनी अदर रूट
बैंकॉक रूट के हम तभी साथ जा सकते हैं अगर उसमें कुछ प्रैक्टिकल हुआ हो, बट आज की डेट में उसमें कोई प्रैक्टिकल ही नहीं है. जो भी जाएगा वही हमें प्रैक्टिकल करके बताएगा, बट आज की डेट में वो बंद ही है, वो फ्लाइट चल ही नहीं रही.
अच्छा बैंकॉक रूट का
Okay,
फ्लाइट
I
नहीं है
think, yeah, I think we are just in time. We have exceeded by 5 minutes.
संजय संजय
So I
संजय
just,
संजय संजय भैया wanted to
okay.
know wanted to
I
ask a
was
question
about to add some points.
Yes.
Like
Sanjay ji, Nimit, 1 minute. Sanjay ji has a question.
मेरा सवाल है राकेश जी से, अगर बाय द वे कोई टिकट कैंसिल हो जाता है या बाय द वे फ्लाइट मिस हो जाती है, तो टाइम कितना लगता है उसको रिफंड लेने में? कैसे, हाउ कैन वी गेट
21 to 45 days होती है, बट नॉर्मली 10 दिन में आ जाता है.
10 days?
10 days में आ जाता है नॉर्मली. वैसे वो 21 to 45 days का टाइम लेती है.
Okay, Nimit, you have some few points. Let's make it quick.
Yeah, मैं ये बोलना चाह रहा था कि हम अगर सेपरेट रिटर्न टिकट्स बुक करते हैं तो इन दैट केस यू शुड गेट द ट्रांसिट वीजा. Like from the Korean side they won't ask, but from the Indian side they will definitely ask if you have two separate tickets. So I think you should get the transit visa.
सर बिल्कुल, क्योंकि जब आप चेकिंग करते हो दिल्ली से, आपके पास दिल्ली से दुबई का बोर्डिंग पास होता है, और जब आप इमिग्रेशन काउंटर पे जाते हो तो आपके वो टिकट नहीं देखता, वो बोर्डिंग पास देते हैं. आप जब पासपोर्ट देते हो इमिग्रेशन काउंटर पे तो वो आस्क कर सकता है चीजें.
Yes, and all, yeah.
Makes sense. Okay, so I think we have covered most of the questions.
Yeah,
And other
Tabreez
questions
has one question, maybe one last question.
सो एक्चुअली मेरा क्वेश्चन है सुधाकर सर से. मुंबई में क्या सीन, एक्चुअली मैं मुंबई जा रहा हूँ और मुझे मुंबई में ही रहना है, तो वहाँ पे एक एक्सेप्शन नहीं मिल रहा है क्या क्वारंटाइन के लिए?
As far as I know, I was there and the rules have not changed since then. As far as I know, there is no exemption if you are not falling under those three categories of young children, old age people, and family emergency like death. If you are not falling in these three categories, then there is no option. You have to go to institutional quarantine for 7 days.
मैं बॉम्बे की जगह आपको सजेशन करूंगा पुणे में जाओ, पुणे में आपको घर जाने देते हैं.
Yes.
राकेश, एक लास्ट
सुधाकर,
क्वेश्चन है, सॉरी, एक जस्ट लास्ट छोटा सा क्वेश्चन है मेरा. दुबई टू हैदराबाद का रूट कैसा है? आई मीन, डिड यू हियर एनी प्रॉब्लम विद दैट रूट? बिकॉज मैंने कभी सुना नहीं है वो रूट के बारे में, तो जरा आप कुछ बता सकें.
हैदराबाद में कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है सर, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, सेफ है.
ओके ओके, थैंक यू सो मच.
Sudhakar, just one question from Jitendra ji. That home quarantine in Korea, I think there are some basic questions they ask about your separate room and everything. You can just give a small information about it.
Yeah, so I will actually share this after this
Okay.
meeting in the same directory, but the rules are very simple. So in two situations. One situation is you have a home and you want to do home quarantine. Perfectly fine, no problem. You can just use your complete house, and then 14 days you're not supposed to throw your waste You have to get a COVID test done within 24 hours of landing, and then once more at the end of your quarantine. That depends sometimes. Second situation is when you have a family. If you're sorry, three situations. Second situation is you as a family going to stay in quarantine. Still no problem. You all can just share all the space. Third situation is your family is already here, and then you are coming and doing quarantine. So this is the situation which is very specific. In this case, ideally they say that you should have two toilets, and you should be able to use a separate unit. But this is just like recommendation. Even if you have a common toilet, they many times allow you. In that case, it's your responsibility to every time sanitize the bathroom when you use any shared space which you use. You have to sanitize. So I think if you have a house, most likely you can do home quarantine, even if your family is there, even if you have one bathroom or two bathroom. But recommended is two bathrooms.
And your family can also go out when you are quarantined, even if you don't have two bathrooms.
No. If you can if your house has two bathroom and you have a very separate space, only in that case your family is not going to quarantine. Another thing which is important here is for example, in my case, I am doing quarantine in my a separate unit. My family is in the same house, but we don't have any interaction, any common shared space. So my family can go out for any need. They can go out, but my kids cannot go to school because these two are from two different ministries. So Ministry of Education has made a rule that if anyone is doing quarantine in the same space, then kids cannot go to school, but kids can go out.
Okay, understood. Okay, any more questions?
I have a question from Facebook viewer. He's asking, can I book round trips Seoul to Dubai and Dubai to Delhi, separate tickets, and both are Emirates flight? Cost is 58,000 rupees.
Yes, you are, sir.
Okay.
Yes, he can book that, but he should get the transit visa on when he comes back. At that time, he needs a transit visa, and also he needs to check that he has enough transit time to collect the boarding pass again at Dubai transit.
Nimit, how much time it takes approximately from the landing to getting the boarding pass and clearing the security, if any?
Actually, I arrived at the final gate like 1.5 hours before the boarding time, and my transit time was 3 hours.
So it approximately takes 1.5 hours for everything from landing.
It takes around like one hour, like from going to the end of the T3 terminal. Like it has 15 to 20 minutes of walk, and then again you take the bus, and it has like 15 minutes to 20 minutes travel by bus, and then you go to the second terminal, and after that you just follow the transit the gate sign, and there, instead of going to the gate, you just go to the counter and collect your boarding pass. But in that case, some how can I say, like in my case, there were not many people standing over there to collect the pass. So
yeah, so you mean to say if there's a huge queue, then it may take more time.
Yeah. If there is a huge queue, then you need more layover time between the two flights. So you should check. Like,
did you see queues anywhere on Dubai airport on any of the terminal, like any of the boarding gates or desk where they're issuing the boarding passes? Sudhakar or Nimit?
Not much.
Not much.
Okay, so there is not much of traffic as such, and it's not a big problem.
No,
Jyoti,
no problem. Other thing is, as Nimit mentioned, I think if you look at pictures which I have provided in my document, and if you have a short transit time, then look at those pictures carefully before you go to Dubai airport, and then just follow that. If you are fast enough, then actually you can do all the transit formalities within in less than 1 hour. I did that in less than 1 hour, plus taking boarding pass, say 20 minutes. So less than 1.5 hours is enough to reach to the other terminal in front of your boarding gate. So, but ideally, I always say that 2 hours is possible, but risky. 3 hours is very good time to do transit.
Yeah.
Okay. Makes sense.
And also, when you get when you go in the queue to collect the second boarding pass, you have to again show all the required documents like self-reporting form and all the COVID test report. So you should keep one more extra copy with you.
I want to say
Also, there is a
something.
question from
Sorry.
Hardeep, I think the last one. What about the quarantine facilities in Korea? I'm freshman going to PhD. I think many people are asking this question because the semester is starting and many students are coming in. So I think we need to help them somehow.
Yes, in this case, there are two options. I guess one option, easier and cheaper option, is if they can book Airbnb in advance before they come to Korea. Other option is if they have someone known here, they can book something, some house and get contract for short term. I think Sanjay ji had done this for many people. So if these two doesn't work out well, then they have to go to institutional quarantine.
Yes, exactly. The people, those who are coming, they can also join IIK SPARK Telegram group, where we have Sanjay ji, Monu, and other students also as admins who can support for stay. In fact, last session was stay in Korea after reaching to Korea, where Monu has taken a session and given all the various options. So that can be seen on Facebook, or even we can share the link. That's possible. I think we have covered most of the topics and a lot of questions. We already shooted over time by 17 minutes. So I think if any more questions are not there, I will just.
I wanna say thanks to Nimit bhai and Rakesh bhai and
Yeah.
Sudhakar bhai, because before this we were I was also thinking of going India, but the prices are the ticket prices are so high, I just couldn't go. So if this is possible, and if you can reserve your, I mean, round trip under 50,000, then I think we don't need charter or maybe air bubble. I mean, the government is trying hard, but for now it's a relief. 50,000 may agar, round trip. It's like pre-COVID times almost. So
Exactly.
it's a huge thing.
A special thanks to Sudhakar sir. How can we forget him? He
Yeah,
was
I already
traveling
mentioned
under
his
very
name.
personal problems and he was helping all of the people whenever possible in the community. Very, very special thanks to Sudhakar sir.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Because,
So, I would.
there is one more query. If you can answer it, maybe someone, maybe Rakesh can answer. Is there any direct flight from Delhi to Kolkata, or Dubai to Kolkata? Somebody is asking whether it's a direct flight. There is a direct flight from Dubai to Kolkata.
Yeah, they have many flights out there from Dubai to Kolkata, such as the Flightway and Emirates.
Okay, so from Korea we can go to Dubai and then Kolkata using the same route, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
So at the end of the session, I would personally like to thanks all the participants who are there watching on Facebook, on YouTube, or who have participated in the Google Meet over here. Thanks for joining, taking your time out, and listening to our all the experiences and information. Secondly, thanks to Sudhakar for making a lot of efforts in detailed documenting all the details about traveling and sharing his experiences. Special thanks to Nimit for taking this, revealing or informing people that there's an option of 50,000 less or 50,000 range ticket available for Korea, India, Korea back. And personally, thanks to Rakesh ji, because Rakesh ji, not only this time, but he has helped me many times. One of our students was traveling back, and last moment remembered he did not have Maraba. He had done his booking separately, but then I called Rakesh and told, please help him. So he did all the setting, Maraba and everything. He did not have to pay also. Eventually, when the student landed back in Delhi, he paid to Rakesh. So Rakesh is always there to help us as a community members. irrespective of you book a ticket with him or not. He's there because a lot of his people on there many times. So, and apart from that, thanks to Nishesh and Raj for everything who are doing this backend support and setting up this Google Meet and helping for live feed and everything. Thanks to everybody. Thanks, and we'll see you in the next session soon. Thank you.
Thank you.
Very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.